Alliances turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Wings Gaming's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to some more Dota 2 here, the TI6 group stages. We've got Alliance versus Wings just about to kick it off. I'm alright. Are you alright? I'm alright.
You just break out another Red Bull, you'll be fine.
I've had too much sugar.
Or maybe, yeah, you should not drink a Red Bull. Who knows?
This is not Red Bull. This is flavored water. There we go.
All right.
Much better. But Alliance versus Wings. We've just actually had the pleasure of casting some Alliance, and and Wings must have been watching. They take away that arcade Cottle. Understandably so. It was pretty game-winning from Alliance against Na'Vi in the earlier series.
They were drafting around it very well, too. Like, the Bristol Cottle offlane was doing a lot of work. The Aghanim's timings that Ake had both games, 20 and 25 minutes, respectively, for the Game 2 and Game 1. So, yeah, like you said, don't want to deal with it. Wings have a very similar style of play. They like to do their aggressive shenanigans, but I think they have a little bit of a more funky style where they just pick random heroes that people don't often see in the meta, and we'll see what their approach is here to Alliance. And obviously Alliance doing a lot better in the group stage so far than a lot of people are expecting up until this point. They actually have 2-0'd two teams. They 2-0'd TNC. They 2-0'd Na'Vi, of course. We just saw that on stream too in the first series of the day. And the only real struggle they've come up against so far is getting 2-0'd by OG, which, again, being one of the front runners in this tournament, you could say going into it, not really much of a shock. Whereas Wings are sitting pretty much, you know, bottom 4 right now, but tied for 5th place with LGD. They're 4-4 going into this series. They tied up against EG and OG. So obviously those two teams are doing very well in their own rights, and now here they are looking to make their way into the top 4 to make sure they get into that upper bracket. And I think it's kind of important to keep in mind now, halfway through or almost halfway through day 2, you can start thinking about, you know, which games each team has to win. And I think that Wings and Alliance are both kind of at that tipping point where every single game counts now.
5 seconds
It really does. And I think one of the things as well is because we've seen in the groups, you know, teams that may have been expected to, you know, flat out just win games, they just haven't. So we are having in this situation where teams are at a much more even level, and suddenly there's this middle ground where a lot of people are on even points.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see the approach that Alliance are going to take here, unable to get their hands on that Keeper of the Light. They do get the Ogre Magi, though, for EGM. Wings are going to open up with the Oracle Morana. I was actually talking to... Oh, man, I'm going to blank on who I was talking to. I was talking to one of the pros, and they mentioned how they feel that this is one of the stronger openings that you can do right now because it pretty much tells nothing to the enemy team. Obviously, both heroes can be run as support. You have the Morana who can go mid or as any core role, really, even towards the off lane, depending on how Wings want to run it. And then the Oracle, which just offers a free save. It has okay lane presence, maybe not the best, but during the mid game it can just be an absolute treat. And of course, as we talked about, the Cottle being banned out, it does leave IO in the pool. Alliance being one of the best Wisp teams, I would imagine, at this point.
Yeah, and I guess that's... well, it's because obviously in the series earlier we saw EGM play the Ogre, but I guess with the
I think it's Ake Ogre.
Yeah. You've got to put EGM on his eye, haven't you? Even though we saw EGM Ogre before. And that's absolutely, we can expect some very flashy plays from EGM. He's not going to disappoint on the IO, always coming in with those miraculous saves, but as she says, you know, with the fact that there's Oracle as well, Wings have got to save themselves. We could see a lot of impressive stuff from the supports, and Cores having their backside saved time and time again on both teams.
That's kind of the cool thing about this meta, is that there's a lot of
5
clutch
seconds
supports,
remaining.
like Shadow Demon, Oracle,
Yeah.
IO, just those really cool saves and turnarounds that in the past metas you didn't really see quite as much, but we're more towards that single target focused and just go in, try to get the kill as fast as you can. Oh god, he got false promise, now everything's just kind of going tits up, so we'll see. Alliance taking out the Bounty, a very, very good ban. Bounty destroys IO during the early game, and more than anything else, when you have an IO on your team with an Ogre, you really don't want them to be in the same
5
place unless you're like dual roaming. So think what Navi did with Seneko on the Wisp and then Artstyle on the Bane. Something similar to that, where they were playing in Starladder and they just completely dismantled the laning phase of the enemy team with that. You can go that approach, but it leaves your solo lanes very susceptible. So I'm thinking that Alliance doing the dual aggressive lanes against Navi, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to send Ogre offlane yet, but it's always a possibility.
And bans as well for Wings. Something as well from the draft as well. I think in the draft against Na'Vi, when did they pick up the Bristleback? Was it second?
No, I think it was
it was third, wasn't it?
It was third in the first game, and then second in the second game.
So I mean, you're talking about going aggressive and stuff, and maybe not wanting to do that as much here. Do you think there's a chance we could still see? No. Yeah, there's the answer. So we can say no. We don't want to see the Bristleback.
IO Bristle is pretty much, it's an MVP trademark, but it's also something that Alliance do.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. If they were going to be able to slip that through, because we've seen, Bulldog, Loader, they both are incredibly good on the hero. And I think it was in the second game. Bulldog was like on top of the net worth on the Bristleback. He was just farming up insanely. They utilized the ancient stacking perfectly.
That game was really rough though for Navi because they had these two defensive supports. Like they had Shadow Demon and Oracle. So you can't really contest with those heroes. Like if you walk to the other side of the map and there's this puck mid with Coil, you can just put yourself in a position where you're just going to die. And because of the fact that, they had all these stacks going to Bulldog, Navi didn't even get their own stacks. They lost them. And Roche and the tier 1. It was a kind of a disaster there. But again, moving on to this game, Alliance now looking at their 4th ban. And again, not really much information you can glean here from either team. Maybe just the fact that, Huskar always...
You gotta do it. You see the Oracle, you've got to do it.
I think after yesterday, when people were seeing Secret play it like every single game...
And they won every game that they picked it.
Yeah, 100% win rate with the Huskar. They're just like, you know what? This hero probably is good enough to warrant a second phase ban. And on top of that, they do get their hands on the Beastmaster. Probably a bit of a denial pick as well. Having a Vision hero in conjunction with the IO is always nice because that way you can reliably set up your relocates. So in this case, it would be like a Roar into a relocate. But since Batrider's banned, you're not going to see the Bulldog Bat, you're not going to see the Bulldog Beastmaster. Just taking away that extra IO partner adds a lot.
What are we going to see Bulldog on? Well, what's still there that you feel the Bulldog...
Well, it depends on how they want to play it, right? Do they go for some Tiny instead? And just go for the mid dual lane? Because at this point, with the Bristleback being banned, the Brood being banned, not having Bat, and the Beastmaster being taken away from Wings, I feel like they're kind of running out of options for the hero that actually sets up for the relocate. So the other option that you have is just going for something that benefits a lot from having a Wisp with you all the time. And usually that's like your Svens, your CKs, your Tinies.
Oh, Bulldog Tide!
The Bulldog Melon.
Wow!
This is a rare thing. You don't actually see Bulldog play it that much.
No, we don't.
But it ain't bad.
Well, we don't know that.
Dude, it's a Tidehunter. Like the hero, you walk in and you hit Ravage.
Good. Okay.
10 seconds.
Yeah, the Bulldog Tide. All right, let's do this. This is gonna be fun. Wings, they're not a fan of fun. They've got Slark Oracle.
The little fish is good against the big fish, as Winter would say.
You just essence shift stacks for days. Oracle's gonna be there backing up the Slark. It could turn into a game where the Slark is just impossible to kill.
Are they just gonna go like AM or something?
What, Lions?
Load to AM.
Why do you feel AM could be here?
I just like the AM Slark matchup because a lot of the time I feel there's not enough catch. I mean, sure, Moonlight Shadow plus Beastmaster is scary, but to a degree you can kind of split push the waves. Wings, they have wave clear, but not until the Mirana and the Slark kind of get their farm. Because when Mirana gets Ags and then Slark has enough farm to just spam Dark Pact, then they can probably equalize the lanes a bit. But okay, they're gonna go with the classic. The classic Sven IO.
I mean, Warcry, I guess, nice against Slark in the sense that he's not going to have to get in and punch and take down some of the squishier heroes on the backliners like the IO. Obviously going to already be terrified of that Slark.
It's good, but at the same time,
You
I
can't
feel
really man fight against the slug,
10
can you? Until a certain
seconds
point in your build where you're able to chunk him down in a few hits.
yeah. With
It's
God Strength on,
5
you can man
seconds
fight
remaining.
because
Yeah.
you're just gonna sheerly out damage what Slar can do to you. My concern is that the Beastmaster Roar
Alliances turn to
is
ban.
gonna just completely shut down the Sven because
Yeah.
I don't really see another Roar target other than Loda and the Io. Those are the two that you want to use it on. You
But
don't-
I guess that is the thing. There is the Io. So you're roaring the Sven. Io's going to be there with a save.
Right, but it's not really about the save. I don't think he's gonna die in the Roar. I just
10
think he's gonna have a hard time
seconds
sticking on a target. Because you got this Slark, you got a Marana, and then a
5
Beastmaster with
seconds
Boars and
remaining.
Aurora that's going to be kiting you out. That's why I'm kind of apprehensive about
That's
it.
true.
So
That's true. And
Reserve
you've got the
time.
disarm from Oracle.
yes, I mean sure he's going to get BKB.
Yeah, but you know, if you're roaring him in the BKB,
Alliances
making
turn
him
to
spend his
pick.
time, there's a lot of things indeed that Loda's got to be aware of in the fights. Last pick for Alliance, the
They need
S4
something-
Quap banned out by Wings.
Yeah, they need something for S4.
Yep.
Maybe a bit of control. I don't know if they're going to go Puck, but it would give them a ridiculous amount of team fight, which could be a
10
solution.
seconds
What about the S4
remaining.
Brew?
Brew is also good.
He loves the hero.
5 seconds remaining.
He's going to be against Marana, I would guess, given the ban. They took out Ricky, so they think that it's going to be
Strong spirit.
okay.
Wings Gaming.
The Storm Slark matchup is actually great for Storm
I mean,
because the Slark
yeah.
can never kill you.
I was going to and Storm, in terms of killing the Storm, you talked about Beastmaster having to decide on a raw target. It's another target he's got to think about. You know,
Yeah, this is a nice
the
approach.
lockdown is not totally there for Wings. They've got the raw on the arrow, of course. But Storm, we'll see how they react to it with this final pick.
It's
Five
a really good
seconds
solution.
remaining.
Because like you said, there are times when, you know, say you're playing Doom or Beastmaster and you have this like one target that you're like, if it's
Reserve
just
time.
one core, then all of a sudden the game is super easy for the Beast because he can just easily just throw it out.
Don't we just get a Disruptor in here? Great against the IO ganks, useful against the Storm.
Their team would be extremely weak against BKB if they went Disruptor, but yeah, it is good in the lane. There is something to be said for being able to glimpse the IO back, and it's great against ganking, like you mentioned. It's good, but it would also put a lot of pressure on Wings to make sure they're getting stuff accomplished early.
Of course, though, this is Wings. You know, you never really know what to expect from these guys. They've always got something fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just expecting like a Warlock pick for no reason, because that's just what Wings like to do. Whenever I'm in the situation they have one support left and they're on 5th pick, my
10
brain is like, are
seconds
they going to pick
remaining.
Warlock? But we'll see. Ah, there's the Nyx. All right.
All right,
Support
IO,
Nyx.
Storm. You know, Nyx is going to eat your heart out.
It's all right. I'm actually not like, I'm not a huge fan of it because it's the same thing as Disruptor, right? And it's not like Alliance are going to be playing like two split apart. You have a Tidehunter, and then you have a Storm, and you have this Relocate. So the Storm is actually the hero who's going to set up Relocate ganks in this game. And then yeah, Faith Beyond's going to be playing Nyx, which I like the hero personally, but I don't know if it's super strong in this lineup. We'll have to see how he plays it.
I mean, if the Storm falls behind, it could be a hard game for S4, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's not like a Relocate is a super reliable save a lot of the time. Like Dooney's going to have to be on point if he wants to save people from a roar, because right now they actually have a tremendous amount of magical burst. So like if an arrow lands or a
10
roar comes
seconds
out and you
remaining.
get Starstormed and you know the Oracle throws out a couple of purifying flames, you can very
5
easily drop.
seconds
Even the
remaining.
tankier heroes like Tide and Sven are going to have to worry about that burst damage. But yeah, I'm probably favoring Wings a tiny bit, even barring the last pick Nyx. I just think it's going to be hard for Faith in the early game to really
Prepare
find
for
much,
battle.
but we will see.
Okay, let's do these predictions, Andy.
Item bugs.
Item bug.
All right, what do we got for predictions?
Well, I went so highest magical damage. I went with the Marana.
Okay.
15 denies S4.
Maybe
Or
Sven.
would you? Are you just saying the lane?
The safe laner is probably more likely to get higher denies than the
There
mid
we go,
laner.
Top tips from Andy. Play with the first triple kill. Who's going to be the playmaker? S4 zip
First
zapping
triple
around,
kill? Him
or
or
Loader coming in,
or maybe
chunking?
Blink. Him or Blink, I would guess.
I'm going to go S4. I've gone with Blink here. We're going to go for a bit of balance in these predictions. Total number of trees destroyed. What the hell?
Okay, that's
That's
random.
it.
I would say.
Who's destroying trees here?
Yeah,
Storm?
who can kill trees?
Beastmaster?
I'd say 51 to 175.
I think that's ambitious.
I think it's going to be because what happens if he balls into the tree line when he's running away? He kills like 20 trees just doing that. He does it like 2 or 3
Alright, you've
times in a
sold me.
game.
You've
Yeah.
sold me, yeah. There we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have going into game 1 of Wings versus Alliance. For those of you have been watching the other games, for those of you who haven't, just a bit of an update on what these teams have been through so far. Spoiler warning, if you are going to go back and watch the VODs. But Wings, they were just playing up against OG, and the score did settle as 1-1. very exciting series. And Alliance, they just played against Na'Vi,
30
and they came out
seconds
on
to
it
battle.
with a 2-0 lead. And in a series that arguably it wasn't really that close, was it?
No,
Alliance
it was
had
not
just
close.
turned up, and Na'Vi were
They had a very good plan for
great.
what Na'Vi wanted to do, and Na'Vi just completely collapsed.
Yeah.
It was pretty ugly for Na'Vi fans. But Wings obviously being a hard hitter here, heavy contender in the group stage. They are going for the rune.
Let's see what goes down.
They can't fight this. Wings have to run. There's no way.
Alliance securing the space for this, and top. Oh, it's a Bulldog. Was trying to take it away from the hands of the Nyx Assassin, but Faith being a little bit quicker on the clicker. Managed to grab a bounty rune in return, so 1-1 each way. And lane-wise, anything surprising? Well, Wings are going to be sending Shadow up to the top lane, and Loda's going to be sent down to the bottom lane. So who's trying to go aggressive, and who's dodging who here?
It's definitely Wings dodging Alliance.
Yeah.
There's no way you want to play against this as a Slark. They want Faith Beyond to be against the tri-lane for sure. The biggest issue that Slark has is that he is a notoriously weak laner. Any aggro lane against Slark is going to pressure him in regards to farm. So best case scenario is pretty much what they have now, having Shadow and Innocence against Bulldog solo. And he's taking quite a bit of damage here. He does have a boatload of regen though, so he should be fine.
So you've seen your lanes as Alliance. Do you then move it back, or do you just go, all right, okay, they predicted us, they've reacted, we just stick down here though?
They need to move at least one hero.
Okay.
Ake can either look for the Beastmaster, or he can make his way towards top. Those are pretty much the two options. I guess pressuring mid is also a play that he can make. Which looks like he's just going to toss out a casual Ignite and give S4 a little bit of a laning advantage. But yeah, the thing with Beastmaster is that since Ice is just not being contested at all, I think in the long run it's probably still okay for Wings to completely sack their Nyx. He's getting quite a bit low here in the bottom lane, just being forced to hide out in the trees. But yeah, I think Wings are probably going to be okay with this. As long as Ice is jungling at a proper speed, it should be fine.
Yeah, and as you said, the movement has been made. Ake turning up towards the top. We'll be there to back up Bulldog and try and do his bit in terms of slowing down the Slark's start here on this top lane. EGM with the Spirits coming out, seeing if you can find a cheeky Faith Piana hanging in the sidelines looking for experience, but the Nyx Assassin backs up safely. Mid lane matchup, Blink 8 for 0, 8 for 3 on S4. Going relatively even here. But as you said, because Wings do have that jungler, Alliance do need to look to get a little bit more out from the lanes.
Yeah, I'm actually unsure if Ake going up here is the right play. I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to pull and whatnot. It'll get you some more EXP than I farm from Shadow. But man, free farm Beastmasters have a tendency to win games. I just see that hero so often get like an early book and then Blink Dagger and just completely crushes the game. So for Alliance's sake, I hope that doesn't happen. But with the start that Ice has right now, you know, he's already almost level 4 and it's 2 minutes into the game.
I mean, in terms of dealing with the Beastmaster, is there any chance we see a movement from Alliance trying to hinder that, or any kind of gank that can come out, or do you feel that Alliance are pressured to stay in the lanes that they have found themselves in?
I don't think Ake has much pressure to stay here at all. I think more often than not what you want to do is you either want to be with the IO looking for kills, or you want to just be sitting in the woods and forcing Ice to not get any farm. Because he's the impact hero, right? He's the guy that you're looking at during the mid game and saying, okay, this guy's got a book 1 and a blink. He can solo kill our cores. Like, this guy is going to have gigantic impact if you just leave him alone. And I mean, EGM's going to come over here, but this is an IO. This isn't the same effect as an 8 armor ogre just walking at you and throwing out ignites. And let's be honest here, of all the heroes on the team of Alliance, Bulldog is probably the best hero at recovering because he's a Tide. He can get jungle stacks, they can sack the Ancients for him, they even have a Sven. So there's so many things that they have where they can recover farm on Bulldog. Like, I don't know, I guess you could argue that having Ake here is still okay, because it's making the Slark not maybe totally free farm.
I mean, I was going to say, looking at the farm, it's not slowed down Shadow a lot.
Yeah.
He's 19 for 1. Deny-wise, you were right, Loda is the one to be watched, 17 for 16. So Loda maintaining a bit better control of the lane, that's for sure. You know, the Nyx Assassin proving to be less of an issue for him than these two are. It's close, and Shadow by no means is being held back. He is up there in the CS.
Yeah, I don't see the Ogre doing much here. I'm not sure what the reasoning is personally. I mean, they clearly have one, otherwise he wouldn't be here. Maybe they're just concerned that if Ake starts moving around, maybe Innocence makes his way towards mid, and that would be really frustrating for S4 until he hits level 6. That could be one reason. But for now, EGM's just chilling here with his Invis rune. soaking some EXP up from Ice Ice, but he's still almost level 6. It's 4 minutes into the game. Like, he's going to hit level 6. Well, he would have been 6 faster than S4 if EGM wasn't soaking from him, but he's still going to hit it first.
They could maybe try and do so. EGM's got 2 points in the Spirits.
If he gets a solo kill, that would be absolutely huge. And speaking of, top lane.
I burst him down, Shadow jumps in, Bulldog caught out alone, Ake not close enough to help, and EGM, he's actually been revealed here. Ice Ice just roars him up.
He walked into the sentry.
Wings kicking it off, 2 kills. Not what Alliance needed to be given away at this stage of the game.
So, EGM's like, alright, I'm going to steal some EXP, then I'm going to give it right back. Enjoy. Just gets blasted by a roar. Maybe a blessing in disguise, because now he's not going to have the smoke roar available for middle lane, which very, very easily could have been a kill on S4. Maybe, yeah, maybe it was a good thing. I don't know. Wings, though, they're getting everything they want out of this laning phase for sure.
We'll see Innocence eyeing up EGM. Blink's going to jump forward. S4, he's dipped to level 6. We'll see how he can play around it. In fact, he is going to be looking towards Blink. EGM comes back in, refueling him up, and Alliance find a kill. Ice Ice with the rotation. Can't do anything about it though, because Ake's there with the Fire Blast Alliance. They'll take a second double kill for S4. Very smoothly played there in the mid lane.
And all of a sudden, that roar pays off, because he didn't have it to kill S4 in mid after they
All
go
part
for
of
that
the
kill.
EGM strats.
He's playing the long con, dude, for sure. The long con always works.
Just tank the roar. S4 says, good job, buddy.
Yeah, getting S4 snowballing is a great way for Alliance to get to the mid game and really make stuff happen. Because obviously, once EGM gets relocate, you're going to have this really nice pairing where the Storm jumps in, the relocate's on top of it, and then you get your Sven in there and you just pretty much kill anyone. So it's something that Wings are going to have to keep in mind.
I'll see on the bottom lane, both Loader and FaithPN closing on the level 6. Well, I mean, once we hit the 6 on the Nyx Assassin, can we expect FaithPN to become rather active across the map? Is he going to have his eyes on a particular target?
I think he just wants to get information more than anything. Like, sure, getting a kill would be great. If they can go on S4, they have enough burst between him and Oracle, and okay.
Now moving in, the backup from EGM, turns around, nice turn, holds back Loader, Ice Ice roaring EGM up. They've got enough damage, the Warcry from Loader is keeping EGM alive, FaithPN coming back in, they'll take down the IO, Loader still playing around, he's got a Mango, so it does have another stun available, but Shadow's turned into the fight as well. Pounces in onto Sven, the follow-through stun from Faith, they'll find themselves a second kill, Wings, and this time it's Alliance getting outplayed, unable to stop Wings' reaction there.
And
2 Loaders move in.
That's a perfect example of why Beastmaster owns Sven. Because you put 1 boar on him, and God strength or not, you ain't moving anywhere. Even with tether speed, he could barely keep up with the boars, and he was trying to kill the one to get EGM away, but, you know, Ice Ice had the cooldown up, and eventually got the second boar out, and at that point, the Wisp is already dead. So really nicely played by Wings. Solid rotation. They even had vision of the lane afterwards, so they placed the ward. They're trying to protect that lane as much as possible, make Loda rotate back towards his own safe lane. And obviously... Oh, they're going to go for a kill here. Innocence.
See how I can play around this. He does have a disarm available. Oh, Ravage being expended. Bulldog going all in on this one, but he disarms Loaded, tries for a TP out, but the swipes from Admiral Bulldog are too much, and they do continue through for the kill. S4 getting very low. FaithPN tried to make a go on it with the Vendetta move, but S4 still has to be careful. Low on mana. Sentry's dropped down, but they don't need to worry about any invis from that man. Moonlight Shadow is low on the mana blink. In fact, they're trying to turn and kill Ake, and they might just do it. Stun from FaithPN. They're going to find it here. Ake can't get himself out, and Wings do manage to get away with the kill. Not the initial kill that they set out for, but a kill at the end of it all.
A lot of the heroes on Alliance right now are just incapable of fighting, and because they expend Ravage on the support kill, it just means that Wings can play a lot more loosely for the next couple of minutes, because Ravage is a very long cooldown, 2.5 minutes. Interestingly enough, I haven't really been able to cast any of the Wings games, so okay, S4 is dead, super dead. But maybe you can answer this actually, because I don't know. Does Ice Ice always buy Vlad's first on Beastmaster? Because I don't know if I've seen this
There are
before.
some, I know if the game does, you know, requires, because people like Mind Control, they will pick up an early Vlad if they feel the momentum going, so Ice Ice, I guess he's the same. Bulldog hoping for a denied the Ancients. Is it going to happen? A Roar and a follow through from Shadow takes him down. But no, I've certainly seen Beastmasters in games where there is this pace, there is this want to group up and go. They do just pick up the Vlads early.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to 5-man, the item is obviously great. It's just very uncommon to see this picked up first. I guess the reasoning is you already have max inner piece anyway, so you have the 45% bonus attack speed, and it also opens up opportunities to go for a much earlier Roshan if, say, Ravage is down, for example. So it's definitely good. I'm just like, haven't seen it before, at least not here.
Now, I guess it's kind of nice as well with the Slark in the fight. So getting moved down relatively low. It's not going to fall.
Oh, he has armlet. He's actually fine.
But yeah, when Slark's trying to go on these tankier targets, you know, Loda, Ake, Bulldog, you know, heroes that he can kill, but it takes a long time. Just having that little bit of life steal just, you know, allows them to fight a little bit better when the fights go on if Beastmaster's there standing next to him. Top lane, Bian looking to make a go with a Vendetta. Loda's going to be the first one to move in, but he doesn't expect the Nyx Assassin. There we have counter action, but the damage, they need a little bit more to bring down Loda. Zip in from S4, they'll take down the Oracle. Can they get themselves anything more though? Moonlight Shadow's down, they don't have the detection, so Alliance, they have to be careful. Backing off. TP in from Shadow, seeing if he can get in position to go for a kill. They'll stun S4. Oh, S4. His Spidey senses tingle, and he zips away just in time.
Man, Wings wanted to kill there so bad. I think that maybe Shadow and Faith Beyond were being a bit too greedy because they knew that the Sven was on very low HP, so they just kept running instead of going for a target they could just jump on straight away. Because he definitely waited it out for a very long time. He could have stunned out of him Vendetta very early in that engagement.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And now, of course, they have the Ravage back up, so next time Alliance want to fight or Wings want to engage into them, they're going to have to deal with that.
Faith. Vendetta back in 5 seconds. Mid lane Loader continues to farm up on the armlet. He's not quite at the top though. As we can see, it is Wings with the higher cores. Only just though. Now looking for the vision. You've got Ice moving around as well with the Beastmaster Raw at the ready. So Loader could be in trouble. Faith is going to look to open up with the initial stun. Nuke as well with a Raw from Ice. They should be able to do it. He's going to get the chance to get the armlet off. He is. Loader, can he toggle his way out of this one? He's certainly going to make it hard for them. And Loader, he's going to be fine. He's going to be A-okay. That split-second chance to get the armlet off, and he's fine. Bulldog turns up with Ake. So they can turn this one around. The stun holds back the Yoga, but he's already got off the Ignite. S4 being relocated in by EGM, vortexing in the Nyx Assassin, and Alliance will be able to find themselves the kill there. Frustration for Wings as they couldn't quite finish Loader off in time.
If he had a book, that was a kill. I mean, that's just the build, right? If he has a book 1, Loda 100% dies there, because he wouldn't have even had mana to use Warcry or anything like that. Sven does not have a great base mana pool. So unfortunate, like you mentioned, for Wings. Good turnaround though, Alliance being ready to react. They had the vision in the bottom rune spot because of the ward anyway, so they had a pretty easy relocate target. And this game for Wings, you know, they're doing all right. They're winning the laning phase and whatnot, but Sven is going to become a real issue for them, especially once he gets BKB and Blink.
I mean, do you feel that's the build for Loader? He gets
oh
BKB.
Yeah, he needs BKB. Maybe not next, but like you finish Treads, maybe go Echo, then Blink, then BKB. That's the natural item progression on most Svens. If he's
set up onto Ake, the stun combination is there. Blink moves in with the star form. They'll burst him down top lane as well. They're looking for more action. Wings Loader moving in onto Ice side. Wise on there on the sideline. Shadow as well. Legion comes across, boosting up Loader with a Raw onto the IO. The nuke from Innocent. They'll take him down, and now Loader all alone. No one to help him out here. He'll try his best with the armlet toggling Shadow. He's got a Shadow Dance, so he could commit here. Pops the ult. Doesn't even need it at the end of the day. The nukes from Innocent. Far too much for the Sven to deal with. And Wings, they find a quick kill mid, follow it through with 2 kills top, and they'll turn it into a tower push as well.
Yeah, really nice movement coming out of Wings there, realizing that there's no more vision top. They got the sentry on the ward that Alliance had placed a little bit earlier, so unfortunately they were not able to see that one coming. Tower going their way, it's going to secure the book 1 there for Ice, and now he's pretty much back on track. Having the Vlads with the book is going to just be like a ridiculous amount of pushing potential and damage. Not to mention the sustain. As we mentioned, like getting Roshan is pretty important in these types of games, and their team allegedly is pretty crap at killing Roshan, so having the Vlads is going to help a lot in that regard.
Now looking over Alliance, S4 does have 2.1k gold on top of the Soul Ring as he's looking to build towards that Bloodstone. Mech, as we saw, is done and complete on Bulldog. He's halfway through 10. Not quite got the level 11 Ravage online yet. Already Faith Bian on the Nyx Assassin. He's managed to make a fair bit of action happen across the map so far. He's looking for more. Double damage and Vendetta as he moves down towards the bottom. Already Alliance retreating. S4 on EGM. not wanting to hang around here. Scan on scan action.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Isn't going to
attack.
catch anyone out. That one is, though. Dire. They will be aware. There's a potential movement from a Wings member. Now, expected to be the next assassin. Bulldog's ready and waiting with an Invis rune on the Tidehunter. Maybe they could try and make something happen with this. They are going to group up as 3. Ake and S4 right behind him. Faith Bian's hiding in the tree line. As they can sniff him out. Is he going to reveal himself? He's keeping himself hidden. CS4. He's still 20 seconds before Vendetta, so unlikely to come out again before that. Mid lane, Wings are finding the space with the 4 of them to look for a tier 2. So this could be a trade, but of course a tier 1 for a tier 2 trade. And we one that Wings will certainly be happy with. They take the tier 2. They may even have a chance to react to this tier 1 push. The line's going to be drawn. They'll try maybe for a crossover behind Alliance as they get forced back. TPs will be coming through. Blink to start it off. Faith Bian looking to lead in onto Bulldog. He does have the Ravage available. He's going to look towards Blink. There's the coach. Lotus turn up as well. EGM brings him into the fight. Ravage comes through. They've taken down 1.
Bulldog? That Ravage hit 0 heroes.
And now Wings. They're hitting back hard, Andy. Where's your Ravage now?
This was a total disaster for Alliance. That was some seriously questionable play from Bulldog. He had Ravage and S4 just died. He didn't use his ability to save his core player. I don't know, that was really bizarre.
Did you see that TP?
Yep. I did indeed. I don't have any words for that. That was just we'll call that a series of unfortunate events, and we'll leave it at that.
That just happened. Everything. Wings.
It was a Shiva tribute, you know what happens.
Oh yeah. I mean, if we've had the Shiva Ravage, that's definitely the Bulldog TP. That was...
Alright, so clearly not the fight that Alliance were looking for. I think the Sven's item progression is just not quite up to snuff. You know, normally you see this hero and he's always at the top of the CS charts and always at the top of the net worth charts, regardless of the state of the game. And the fact of the matter is, Lotus just not able to keep up. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Wings have been constantly pressuring him as Faith Beyond's over here in Vendetta just checking things out. I don't think there's any sentries in the area from Alliance, but there is an observer ward. Oh, there we go.
And the arrow to follow up again, Wings. Kill after kill now at this point. They are, they're turning up in Alliance. They need to do something about this, as we can see very suddenly. With 17 minutes in, it's a 10k lead. Wings starting to cement their position. They'll look to Roshan. Alliance, no Ravage for 45 seconds. So it will be a hard one to contest. And they're in the wrong half of the map to do so anyway. So Wings look to get away with this for free.
Yeah, this is when the Vlads comes into play. It just makes the Roche so much safer. Having to disarm too from Innocence at level 2. It's pretty OP actually. They're just taking no damage. It's not the fastest Roche, but it's super safe.
A lot of good things happening for Wings. As well, as I say that's a very good thing for our side. 17.5 minutes in, book 3 in Vlads. Just your ordinary Beastmaster.
Yeah, I mean, Alliance are at least doing something in regards to taking an objective while Wings get the Roshan. They kill the offlane tier 1. Not the most valuable. It's actually their first tower of the game, now that I look. They haven't killed a single tier 1 up until this point, so... Doing something.
I've been looking for more as they pressure onto the tier 2. At the same time, though, Wings are moving down mid and bottom. Both lanes have already reached the high ground of Alliance. They are going to have to react. And as we can see, the presence of Faith Bian actually being enough to stop Alliance, forcing the push on this tier 2. And mid lane,
I mean, they have to address this. The thing is, the
S4, a man who's a master of cancelling TPs, has just had his cancelled.
This is not good.
They'll have to relocate him back. So they've relocated S4 back for the defense. Eyesight goes in, Raw Roller. Blink has fallen to nuke Danny Gem. Bulldog gets the Ravage off, does catch 4 of them, but it doesn't seem to matter. Shadow jumps in, takes down a second one as the Ogre to fall. Alliance being forced back towards the fountain. The mid lane racks are down. And Wings get the objective absolutely cleanly. And at the start in the lanes where it looked like Alliance were holding their own, at this point, Wings have shown up. And Alliance, they need to answer the phone.
I want to tell a story of a Beastmaster who was not contested the entire game, who now has book 3 Vlads. and 1,600 gold at 19 minutes into the game. He has more net worth than any member of Alliance, and this is why I was really questioning. We might have to wait because Loda might be dead.
Shadow going through the arrow. It's going to catch EGM. The stone from Faith Pian. EGM bursted low and Spencer fall as well. 2 down on Alliance. Blink jumps in. They'll finish off the Tide Hunter. 3 kills for Wings. 20 for 6 with just 19 minutes in. But Alliance on the verge of losing a second set of racks.
Yeah, I think this is actually just game.
Yep.
They don't have Ravage, so without Ravage and the Sven being dead for another 30 seconds, they have a tier 2, I suppose. This is the last hurrah here from S4. Gets Carapace stunned by the mix. And GG, well played. All right.
Oh, wow.
Minutes.
That's, yeah.
There were so many things about this game that just seemed a little bit off for me. Like, not contesting Ice. I mean, clearly Alliance had some idea of what they wanted Ake to do during the early game, but what I really felt the most was that Ake was not comfortable playing in that role. Like, when you look at Ake, he's the guy who's usually sitting around, you know, helping a lane, and that's what he tried to do on an Ogre. But Ogre doesn't do that. Ogre walks around, he punches people, he buys Orb of Venom and skills Ignite, and he's like, yo, I'm in your face, I'm making you do stuff. Because that's how Ogre's just meant to be played, and I felt like he was a bit out of sorts